Good morning. Good morning. This is Life with Anita Morning Show. I just want to wake up this morning and tell you guys how amazing you are, how great you are, sending positive energy everybody's way. I'm going to be making some announcements and letting you guys know just a little bit about what's going on with me this week, how things are going to be. So tomorrow I'm going to have Michaela Nobles on, and we are going to be discussing books and writing, and we're going to be talking about her book that's coming out November the 15th, 2024. Also, if you guys want to get some amazing products from me, and you would like to do it in person versus ordering online, if you'd like to get your products sooner, you guys can contact me 737-304-2120. Or if you are on my Facebook page, you can also inbox me as well. Now, this week has just started and it has started off to an amazing start. So I'm so proud of other people. I'm proud of myself. This morning, I am going to be making some very, very, very big decisions, right? So y'all send me y'all prayers here with this. I'm going to be stepping on my faith in some very big business ventures, and I'm excited about it. But you know, you had a little nervousness and stuff, right? But I am so proud of myself. So you know what? I got this. But y'all send me some motivational energy, okay, through the screen. Also. I am going to be in several competitions coming up. If you look on my Facebook page, there's a lot of the flyers that I'm going to be a part of. I'm just excited. I thank God for the way that He has been moving in my life. I thank God for how He has been directing me, how He has been keeping me together. Um, this has been a year to say the least. And on my morning shows, I try to always share a testimony to encourage somebody. So today is the 24th of September. Literally 3.5 months ago, actually 3 months ago and 8 days, um, I became homeless in my car. I had nothing, and I had also just been a victim of domestic violence again, at the hands of the same person. And I remember when I became homeless, 3 months and 8 days ago, that I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to make it, and I realized that so many people knew me publicly. And I was like, Anita, like, how's this going to play out? I'm like, what are you going to do? And I remember just sitting there saying, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to make it out of this. But God, only you know how to get me out of this. And I went into a shelter for the first time in my life. And I just was like, oh my God. I was like, man, like it's gotten to this point. And to live in a shelter, no matter what people tell you, there is an initial shock that will take you over, and it's something you can't even, like, you can't control it if you wanted to. So me being in a shelter for the first time in my life, um I had all kind of thoughts going through my mind because number one, I didn't even tell my family. I was like trying to conceal it from my kids and my relatives, that I was in a shelter, that I had went through domestic violence again, because a lot of things you feel so ashamed of, you don't want to talk about, and you're just like, I don't know if I should tell people that. And I remember a couple weeks after I was in the shelter, I called my sister and I broke down crying. And my sister, me and my sisters, we grew up together. We are all very close still. And my sister said, Anita, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you talking like that? What's happening? What is going on with you? And I said, well, I said, a couple weeks ago, I said, he hit me again. And I said, he ended up going to jail. I said, but now I'm homeless. I don't have nowhere to go.
Bluetooth
And
device
I
is
am
disconnected.
in
Setting.
a, and I said, I'm in a
Bluetooth
shelter.
device is connected.
Y'all gotta excuse my
Power
speaker.
off.
It do whatever it wants to sometimes. But um, I remember calling my sister and I remember telling her, I was like, man, a lot has happened. And, at the time, it was so it was so different. It was so like dynamic, right? Because I had not called my sister in weeks. Um, and I was like, I didn't know what was going on with the family. I didn't know any of that stuff. And I remember calling her, and my sister was listening to me vent about how I had became homeless, how the person had basically attacked me again and abused me again. And then I remember my sister, after she heard everything and she just listened to me, she said, Anita, I got to tell you something. And I was like, wait, what's wrong? And I'm thinking she's going to tell me something wrong with my kids or something happened. And I remember she just was like, your brother in law, he's not okay. And now, my brother in law is the sweetest. I mean, he is the sweetest, kindest person ever. The way that he takes care of my sister and my niece, he's a real stand up guy. And he's been in our family for years. And I remember she was like, it's bad. And she was like, I listened to everything that you was going through. I want to hear that first because I heard the hurt in your voice. I heard that you needed to get it out. And I remember just pulling over in my car. And I was like, tell me what's wrong. I was like, what happened to him? And she paused. She took like this long pause. And I was like, oh my God. I thought she was going to tell me that he had passed away. But she actually told me, she was like, well, he was shot 18 times. He was rushed to the hospital. And I was like, oh my God. And it made me realize how the disconnect when I was going through the substantial domestic violence for all those months again, of me not making contact with my family, me not keeping up with what's going on. Just to hear that, it became heartbreaking. And I just like, I broke down in tears. I was crying. I already was going through, still dealing with the coming off the heels of me, myself recovering from me just experiencing domestic violence again. And a lot of people, they see my pictures, they see the stuff I post, and when I was going through this moment, only a select few of people on my timeline knew what was really going on with me. And I would still post pictures, I would still try to just keep it together. And a lot of times we feel like, oh, well, if people know something's going on, it makes us less of a person. And it doesn't. You have to realize that you're human. Everybody's human. People go through things. So everybody's not glitz and glam and everybody's not always in the positive, most bestest mood. I can't tell you how many times that when I recently went through domestic violence a couple months ago, that I would wake up and I would cry because it was a process of me beginning to heal from that again. And then I would still get up and go to events and smile and enjoy myself and talk to people like nothing had happened. But nobody knew I had just been at home, or I had just been in shelter where I was staying at, crying my eyes out because I was still healing from trauma. A lot of times people don't understand the dynamic force that trauma is. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, with trauma, a lot of people should just be able to heal and get over it, right? But see, when you experience trauma, you experience hurt, you experience pain. These things take time. You have to give yourself grace. You have to say, I am going to give myself that grace no matter what nobody says. Because a therapist can't tell you when you're going to heal, your friends, family, coworkers, whoever, they cannot tell you when you are going to heal or when you should heal. And a lot of times I would get caught up in that where it was like, well, okay, well, this person said I should heal by this time, and this person said go do this, and that's how I'm gonna get over what happened. And if you don't properly process your trauma, if you don't properly heal from your trauma, you will begin to bleed on others that did not cut you. So that's like if I have unhealed childhood trauma, right? And I don't take care of that and I don't go get the help I need for that. As time goes on, that's something that's going to begin to fester in me. And even whether I knowingly or unknowingly, I'm going to begin to bleed and hurt people that did not hurt me. And that's just how things are. So that's why I always talk to people, even clients that I work with in my organization. I have a lot of women that I'm working with now. And the conversation is, okay, they always say, well, Anita, I just want to be healed. I just want to be okay. And I always explain to them that takes time. And then they tell me about stuff that happened when they were younger and things like that and how they didn't get help for that. And so I tell them a lot of times when we are dealing with unhealed trauma and we keep experiencing repeat trauma, even if it's in different forms, until we begin to heal ourselves, until we do the necessary work to heal ourselves, we will continue to it'll pile up. It's kind of like piling up like when things are hoarded. So I always try to express to people it is so important to heal. Like right now, I found myself engaging in a conversation yesterday with somebody because somebody was like, "Oh, you're just so beautiful, and why are you single? And you shouldn't be single. You should just be with somebody." And I was like, "Wait, if you want to know more about why I'm single, you are free to ask that question, and I have no problem telling you." And what I tell people is that I'm single because I understand I need to heal. Because if I don't heal and I jump into another relationship, and then now this man is paying for everything that the last man did because I'm not healed, now that's unfair to that man because maybe that man is not like this other man. And so, what you have to understand is that when you are unhealed, the worst thing you can do is put yourself in another situation where you ain't all the way whole. Because if you're not whole and if you're not healed within yourself, then you are not able to fully have the capacity that you need mentally to be okay. You are not able to be your full best version of yourself. And healing takes time. And a lot of people will see me now and they see I post all these pictures, they see I do all this stuff, but they don't know like I'm still healing. You know, I went through something just 3 months ago. That's not a long time, but I had to understand how necessary it was for me to turn my pain into power, to begin to continue to free myself from that, to continue to be able to tell my story, share my testimony so that it will help other people. That is why I do a lot of things that I do because a lot of people, they are watching. I don't know everybody's situation, right? So it may be somebody on my timeline that has not told nobody what they're going through, right? But if they hear my story or they see I have wrote a book about how I escaped domestic violence and I escaped so many things and how I triumphed through that, it may help that person. So you have to remember that sometimes your story can help the next person. It can heal the next person. Because when I went to this event the other day with Ricky Smiley, and the one thing he said was, we all need to heal. When we have experienced trauma, hurt, and pain, we all should be trying to heal together, being supportive and being there for each other. And I was like, man, you don't hear that a lot. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people feel like everything got to be they by themselves or they got to do everything by themselves. It's okay. Listen, in this world, when it's kind people, when you find kind people, or when you get you the right support group, so you got to find your people. You can't find other people's people. Like you got to find your circle. You got to find your niche. You got to find your village of your people that are for you. And a lot of times people are just like, well, I just want everybody to pray for me. I want everybody around me. You can't have that when you're trying to heal properly because everybody ain't around for the same intention. And so you have to use your discernment from God at that point to figure out what it is that you need to do and who you need to be around. Because who you attach yourself to, who you attach your energy to, who you are seeing around, who you engage with, those kind of things matter. So a lot of people may know me from different parts of my life, right? But at this point in my life, I am careful who I engage with. I'm careful who I'm around. I don't go around everybody. I don't hang around everybody. I'm not everywhere. And even if people know me, whether it's from Facebook or whether it's from here or there, I don't connect myself to everybody because that also it can stump your healing and it can get in the way and it can cloud your judgment and things like that. So I just wanted to share some insight with you guys this morning, share some things with you on the Life with Anita morning show. I will have some announcements coming up later today. And then also stay tuned for tomorrow's episode with Makayla Nobles. And I hope you guys enjoy my shows. I hope you enjoy my podcast. I have so much great content for you guys. You guys have a blessed morning. This has been the Life with Anita morning show. And you guys go out there, be great, be positive, change your mindset, and it'll change your life. Have a good morning, have a great day, and have an amazing, positive week full of blessings. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show.